The sky is burning, my squad scattered, a tank just flattened the building I was using for cover, and the only thing louder than the gunfire is my teammate yelling that he spawned in with the wrong loadout. Hey, it's Cobra, and I'm here to save you all from the paid, dishonest, sellout opinions out there on games, movies, and TV shows. Topic of discussion today is Battlefield 6. Is it good, bad, ugly? Stay tuned and find out. Because as we know, Battlefield 6 is a game that wants to capture the chaos, scale, and cinematic intensity of war. But like every great war story, there are some moments of triumph, and then there are some where you wonder who's actually in charge of this operation as things go to shit. So in today's video, I'm going to give you my ups and downs for the game so you can decide if it's a triumph or a squad wipe before you spend your hard-earned money on it. Real quick though, before we begin, I want to give my thanks to all 2,200 of you that have subscribed over the last year and a half or so. I apologize for stepping away for a lot of this year. I've had a really tough mental year, if I'm being real with you guys, and I didn't want to make half-ass videos during dealing with that stuff. But we are back, and I am at full throttle now for the remainder of the year. If we hit 3,000 subs, I'd be stoked to make up for the lost time, but if not, that's okay. It's a short period of time, so nothing crazy for expectations here. If you do enjoy videos about games, movies, TV shows, this might be the channel for you, so maybe consider subscribing to help that out if you aren't already. Also, make sure you stick around to the end of this video as I will give my final overall rating for Battlefield 6. But yeah, I've rambled enough. Let's get back to the video. After spending dozens of hours in Battlefield 6 across campaign, conquest, and other various game modes, I think it's time to begin our ups and downs for the latest installment of maybe my favorite gaming franchise ever. And to start off here with an up, let's start with some gameplay stuff. Let's talk about how fluid everything feels in this game. The frame rate is honestly as smooth as it gets, which is a must for competitive FPS shooters out there. This is all controller-based feedback, just FYI before moving forward. With that being said, I think controller feels really good and really as good as it can be. Aiming is snappy and crisp. Sliding while running around blends well with the gameplay and doesn't feel like you're out of control like you are in Call of Duty with over-the-top movement. The same can be said for the overall just free movement system period. I'd compare it to a more simplified Omni movement from Black Ops 6. It's just more simplified and dumbed down in like a good way. And they also have sprint crouching, which is another very welcome addition that I find myself using quite a bit. Even something as simple as mounting your gun feels very fluid. I've had clunky experiences in other FPS games out there, so it doesn't go without saying here. Oh, and probably my low-key favorite feature is a little addition of dragging your fallen teammates as you revive them. There's just something about it that just makes everything feel so epic around you. Alright, the second up goes to loadout customization and just overall customization, I guess, period. This is where the game just shines for all the players out there. The loadout system isn't just a quick pick an optic and go menu, it's a toolbox, honestly, is what I would call it. You get real measurable trade-offs between attachments and perks, and those trade-offs change how weapons handle in combat. This game has a pick 100 attachment mechanic, and this gives you the opportunity to mix and match whatever your heart desires to fit your playstyle. For example, muzzles, barrels, lasers, and ammo types noticeably change your damage, recoil, range. I mean, standard stuff, but it's really done well here. It's in depth. Switching just a couple things can flip a weapon from a close-range stomper to a mid-range duelist in a heartbeat. Going along with attachments, of course, you can't forget about the actual weapons themselves that go hand in hand here with attachments. As far as I know, there are over 40 weapons to choose from for your primary option here, which is double the amount of Battlefield 2042, if that is correct. If not, sorry, that's on me, but I'm pretty sure that is. I think they only had like 22 or something. I mean, geez, carbines and assault rifles alone give you 15 options here in Battlefield 6 to choose from, which is almost double 2042. On top of the attachments and weapons, you get the usual but more expanded assault, engineer, support, and recon classes returning here, complete with signature gadgets and traits that let you define the role beyond just the class name and make everything feel individualized. If you want to play super aggressive and offensive, then Assault is for you. Want to be a true team player and run around healing teammates and tanks? Then maybe an Engineer or Medic is for you. Or hey, maybe you just want to cover and hide all game like a little well, Recon is for you. Maybe I went a little too far there, but let's move on. While talking menus and stuff, let's get into our first down of the video, the progression system. Progression? What's progression? That's what I find myself wondering every time I play this shit. It is like glacier slow. Trust me, I get it if you don't want everyone to have everything unlocked in the game by the end of the first week, but for someone like me that works and makes videos with my free time, it needs to speed up a little bit. Player progression being slow is fine with me and everything, but the weapons are the one that's painfully slow for me. Like I said earlier, there's 40 plus weapons for you to experiment with, and they want you to spend dozens of hours with each to level them up fully with the chance of you liking it and maybe not liking it and starting over after all that time. Now, it's just really frustrating, and it puts you at a big disadvantage when you're playing with under-equipped weapons for a lot of these hours, trying to level up to get any attachments whatsoever that are worth a damn. This is definitely a nitpick kind of down, but it affected my experience enough to talk about it. But alright, you're ready to jump in, and what do you jump into? Maps. And okay, I get it. Probably my lowest up out of all the ups, if I'm being honest with you. And look, I don't know if any of these maps are going to be all-timers or anything, and yes, there's only 7 new maps for Conquest multiplayer, but in my opinion, there's only one like bad map, and that even might be a little harsh. As a whole, the maps are very layered like a good old onion. Infantry pockets, vehicle lanes, verticality, it's all here. They all do a great job of giving all the players' playstyles a chance to shine. Some maps are bigger to allow sniping, and other small ones give you the Operation Locker kind of feel for your intense close quarter battles. I do feel like the large maps could be a little bit bigger, but I don't think the small ones are too small, so if this makes any kind of sense, that they kind of like balance each other out there. Plus, somewhere in every map there are plenty of buildings where destruction opens up plenty of new approach opportunities, which sets us up perfectly for the next up. And that next up, of course, is the gorgeous, wonderful destruction system. Oh man, where would I be in my life without you? What did I do with my life before you? Guess Battlefield has always been known for destroying the world around you, but it is dialed up to 11 here. And I gotta say, I'm all for it. You got some like Call of Duty weirdos camping, hiding in a room. Well, guess what? There goes that wall and the room around them. And if the wall isn't good enough to satisfy, just do some more damage and it will collapse the entire building on top of their head and send them running back to Call of Duty asking for colorful skins and shit. It's just incredible to know when you could take so many different structures down, and it gives you like new approach and freedom and choices and all that stuff. And on top of that, of course, the vehicles cause as much carnage as your heart desires as well. Tanks run over literally everything in your path. I mean, it might point you up at like a 90-degree angle facing the sky to get over something sometimes, but you'll get over it eventually. And while on the topic of vehicles, this brings us to another down, and this is probably not going to be what you think it is. And on record, I just want you to know also the long history of playing Battlefield that I have. I am not a vehicle guy in the slightest, so when I say vehicles, mainly tanks, have become a joke, then that should carry some weight behind it. In the beta, I was having a blast testing out the tanks, and I was ripping through people left and right, but now the full release has almost made them useless in my eyes. Why, you might ask? Well, one word: mines. They are out of control in the full release game, to put it lightly. I believe it's engineers, they get a few of them every time they spawn in, and when they die, I'm almost positive their mines stay put, they don't go away. The issue is, after the first couple minutes of a match, driving a tank feels like you're playing that minefield game nonstop where you're tiptoeing through the entire thing. And yes, I'm cool with mines being there in play and stuff to counter tanks, but I give them like one mine and make them go away upon death so there's not 50 mines laying everywhere, and that is like no exaggeration. No joke though, I went from like 20 kills in the tank in the beta to not even getting a kill 80% of my time trying out tanks for this video. And I could tell it wasn't just me feeling this way either, because no joke, almost every single match I've played since like day 1 drop, I see almost no tanks driving around other than like the super large map. Alright, back to some positives here before we drift too far away from the gameplay side of things. And we're going to talk about sound design real quick, a category that Battlefield has always excelled at, and it really sets the standard for what war environments should sound like in video games for me. Whether it's ducking in and out of cover as sniper bullets go whizzing past your head, footsteps from a squad surrounding, ready to infiltrate the building you're shacked up in right now, or just ricocheting bullets hitting everywhere in sight as you fight for your life, and really just the air vehicles and the whole atmosphere around you in general, just roaring over your head or roaring around you with tanks. Battlefield wants you to put on a nice headset and feel everything, and I also recommend that. And while you're listening, you need something good to look at, and unlike in Madden, where football players look like they're dealing with exorcisms sometimes, the Frostbite engine really flexes hard in the Battlefield universe. From straight up lighting, volumetric smoke all over the chaotic war zone, reflections everywhere. A reflection would be, you know, mirrors and puddles, whatever that's worth. People like to drool over reflections, so I gotta mention it. And then of course, like just beautiful explosions in general. Not just screenshot worthy stuff either, but true immersion that constantly has you standing in awe. Well, running around in awe. I mean, unless you want to get sniped, then you could just stand there and do your thing. You might look a little weird just staring off into space, admiring stuff, but if you're soaking it in and enjoying yourself, F it, just do it. No, not you, Nike. Back over to another quicker negative I got here, and that is the weapon damage consistency that I constantly find myself running into, and I mean constantly. I feel like the logic behind what the damage actually does is just unbearably confusing. Walk through this quick example with me real quick, and honestly, tell me in the comments if I'm missing something here. Okay, at this point of my Battlefield adventure, I've had a couple days of experience with damage and consistency, so I purposely go out of my way here to get even closer to the guy to ensure that I kill him, because I know how it works. But I land a point blank range headshot and get 50-ish damage as a result, and of course die afterwards panic shooting because my brain just assumed he was going to be dead logically. But here in example number 2 as comparison here, the first kill I get with Mr. Shotgun is further away, giving me over 100 damage, and then shortly after this, my personal favorite leg shot kill doing double the damage a headshot kill did at, or not kill did at point blank range. I don't know. Like I said, let me know in the comments if I'm missing something. Simply put, I just wanted to make some sense. After countless examples of seeing this, I just can't make any sense out of it. Okay, so outside of actually being on the battlefield, the game modes here are pretty good. This up is mostly here to praise a single game mode if I'm being honest, but I have to mention that there are still plenty of modes for you to choose from in Battlefield 6. You have your usual options like Breakthrough, Team Deathmatch, Rush, Domination, King of the Hill, and the always amazing Conquest. But this time around, they actually have a couple new modes for you, so hats off to EA for actually doing something new with their games for a change. Escalation is the one new mode where they basically made another version of Conquest, but the mode I want to touch on specifically here is Portal mode. A mode that gives creative people nearly endless possibilities to create fun for the rest of the community. As far as I know, you can pretty much edit anything your heart desires. Like, come on now, I played Shipment from Call of Duty in Battlefield. Like, how cool is that? That's like really fucking cool if you ask me. To my knowledge, all the verified Portal creations can be like used for leveling up and XP and stuff like that. So that's good to see. It's not just basic stuff like custom servers from like the previous Battlefields. You can create like all new game modes within this mode, like arena shooters, horde type of modes, or even like race courses, just for examples. Tough to go fully in depth here to review Portal mode for now because the creators are just getting their feet wet, but this mode has potential to be a long-term game changer is all I'm saying. Alright, this is probably going to be my longest point so far, but this is my final down for this game. And as we're talking about modes, let's go into the campaign and let's describe Battlefield 6's campaign story in a nutshell as a very overhyped AAA cinematic trailer that ends up playing out like a never-ending prologue. There are most definitely some impressive movie visuals here and set pieces, but that just kind of goes along with my graphics thing that I already praised the game for. And they set you up nicely for these levels to jump into with the graphics and the visuals, but once you get past the look of everything, there is almost nothing good to offer. It has a lot of like going through the motions kind of vibes. There are plenty of missed emotional opportunities that ultimately lead to a bland, thin story arc that I just never felt invested in. I hate to say this, but it really did feel like a tutorial for each of the 4 classes Battlefield offers for the multiplayer. It's a shame too, because Battlefield nails the epic atmosphere so much in the multiplayer, but for whatever reason, they can never duplicate that in their story modes like I want them to. If it wasn't bad enough for the campaign, the length of it also for a full price game is another issue within itself. It took me 5 hours to beat everything, and honestly, as dull as it was, thank you for ending my slow torture. And like seriously though, 5 hours for a campaign is even shorter than Call of Duty's by an hour or two, and that's saying something because Call of Duty's fly by. And oh boy, the last point for campaign here is probably my biggest criticism in the entire game. I feel like the computer AI in the campaign has not been talked about from what I've seen around the Battlefield community and YouTubers and stuff that I like to watch just to see their opinions. And it's mind-blowing to me because wow, This mode maybe has the dumbest brain dead AI I've ever seen in a AAA story. Guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. Multiple times, and when I say multiple times, I mean more like dozens of times, probably more accurately. I will walk right up to enemies and they have a stare down with me because they don't shoot. Literally as simple as that. They will look at me for 10 seconds or so and decide, you know what? Maybe I should shoot some bullets today after 10 seconds of me not killing them. And also, on top of that, I've watched multiple enemies spawn into the world, and then of course they don't shoot me until they get into their programmed assignment position. I'm sorry, but this is just unexcusable for 2025 gaming with the technology and money that EA has at their hands. And I don't know, it broke my whole experience for campaign. And one final quick up here before we end this video, because I gotta say something about it, even though I'm probably not gonna be able to say much about it because it's simple. The game had zero issues for me as far as stability and crashing. After the dreadful 2042 launch, I was worried, but I'm pleasantly surprised to report that all was good over here. Dozens of hours in and 0 crashes, so this is the easiest up of the game, even though it's the shortest one. So, Battlefield 6 for me truly does feel very comparable to Battlefield 3 and 4. I will seriously say that, without a doubt in my mind. There were so many times that I randomly stopped and was like, wow, you know what? There's some things here that I really feel like I'm playing Battlefield 4 right now, and I played that game a lot. With all that being said, this game finishes with 8 ups and 4 downs, but some ups and downs have more weight than others going into my final score. Just so you have that in mind when I give Battlefield 6 a final rating of a 9 out of 10 still. This entry returns to the series' true identity in my eyes. Visuals, audio, deep weapon customization, and addictively fun gameplay brings this nearly to the top of all-time Battlefields. Campaign needs more meat on the bones, and the AI can burn in hell for all I care, but campaign is only a minor thing in FPS shooters for me, and those other little nitpicks are just slight dings for me. But yeah, let me know what you think of Battlefield 6 in the comments below. As always, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, and maybe consider subscribing for more content going forward. I hope you have a great rest of your day. That is it for me. See ya!